Hello, guys. I hope you're well. Welcome back to an Acorn's View. One of the ideas that runs through this channel is that small things matter. Just as an acorn doesn't become an oak overnight, our lives are often shaped by small actions repeated over time, or like a compounding effect. So, when we're struggling, it can be so easy to feel that we need a big solution. We might think that we need to spend money, completely change our lives, or somehow become a different person. But I found it's often actually the quieter things that help the most, the small daily habits that can make things easier. None of the ideas that I'm sharing today are revolutionary. They certainly won't solve everything, but they can make life that little bit easier, a bit more gentle, and sometimes that's exactly what we need. So, here are some cheap and free ways to gently care for yourself. Make life easier for your future self. One of the kindest things you can do is look after your future self in the same way that you would look after someone that you love. So it could be laying your clothes out for tomorrow, filling your water bottle, preparing your lunch, putting your medication somewhere that you'll remember it. The tiny acts of kindness towards yourself will quietly say, tomorrow matters too. And alongside that, sometimes I feel if something feels overwhelming, trying breaking it down into what I like to call snack size pieces can really help. So instead of doing cleaning the entire home or doing a full workout or tackling something that could be really overwhelming, just 5 minutes of tidying, one stretching exercise, tidying one drawer, sending one email, reading one page. Little and often has really changed far more in my life than trying to do everything perfectly. And especially, I think when you have chronic illness, it can make life so much easier. Talking of chronic illness, if you live with chronic illness, pain, or brain fog, it can also help to put together a little tough day kit. You could get a little tray or a bag and just put a few items in it that would make those tough days a bit easier. So mine would probably include things like some tissues, a lip balm, a bottle of water, maybe some pain medication, a notebook and pen, a charger, because you don't want to have to go and find one if you're halfway through scrolling, do you? Some cozy sock, just anything else that can make difficult days feel a little bit easier. The idea isn't to expect bad days, but they are a part of life, let's face it. But it's just simply to make them feel a little bit kinder when they do arrive. Support your body gently. So looking after ourselves doesn't have to involve intense workouts or complicated routines. Sometimes it's as simple as stepping outside for a few minutes when you wake up. That little bit of daylight can help your body know that the day has begun. It can be a gentle way to wake up both your mind and your body. You don't even have to step outside, but just opening the curtains when you first wake up, getting that daylight into your eyes. Another surprisingly helpful basic is drinking enough water. I know I can be terrible for this, and I am working on it. It's one of those things that's so easy to overlook, but when I'm dehydrated, I often feel more tired, more achy, definitely have more brain fog. Gentle movement can help as well. One thing I really like doing, one of my favorites, is simple arm swinging exercises. There are some brilliant videos on YouTube for these, and they probably look a little odd, but they feel wonderful. And especially if I've been sitting for a while and feeling a bit stiff, it's a great way to wake the body up. Obviously, all of these things, only do what you feel capable of, and anything that you're unsure about, talk to your healthcare provider first. But another one alongside arm swinging is some gentle stretching as well. It can make your body feel a bit more comfortable. I find personally that it helps minimize my joint pain, especially if you spend a long time sitting, say, up to a desk, or if, like me, you sometimes wake up feeling quite creaky. Also, don't underestimate dancing. Put on a favorite song, have a little dance around. It doesn't matter how you look, it's just good for the soul. It can make you feel so good. You don't even have to stand up to do it. You can just dance in your chair if you want to, but it can really lift you. Soothing the nervous system. When life feels a bit busy or overwhelming, I find it helps to deliberately choose small things that tell my body it's safe and to slow down. Something like humming or singing is definitely one of those things for me, especially. I love singing. It doesn't matter if you're in tune, thankfully. Nobody's judging. Even if they are, who cares? It's for you. It's simply a lovely way to feel more grounded. Also, again, a classic, bit like drinking water, breathing exercises. They're surprisingly powerful. Even slowing your breath for a minute or two can really help create a little space in an otherwise stressful day. One of my favorite app actually is called Breathly. I will leave a link to it in the description. It is completely free and it is brilliant. You can set timed breathing exercises and it highly recommend it. It's fantastic. But you don't need an app at all. Just spending a few moments taking few slower, deeper breaths can really help. The next one, and this is a favorite of mine, and it might seem quite old fashioned, but it is so wonderfully comforting, and that is soaking my feet. I think it's something that we've forgotten. I think, sadly, I think it was quite common once upon a time to soak your feet, but it is so relaxing, especially if you add a little bit of bubble bath or some Epsom salts or something like that. It is so comforting. You can use warm water to help warm you up in the winter, or nice cool water to cool you down in the summer. And it just gives you permission to stop for a while. And sometimes I think that's all we need. Again, one of those classic comforting things would be wrapping yourself in a blanket, giving someone a hug. It doesn't have to be a person, it could be a pet. Yes, teddy bears also definitely count. When I need a little calm, I also like listening to nature sounds or gentle white noise. There are so many available for free online. YouTube apps, there's so many, and they can really help turn down the volume of a very busy mind. Protecting your peace. I think this is an important one actually. Looking after yourself isn't only about adding things to your life. Sometimes it's about taking some things away and being okay with saying no sometimes. You don't have to be available to everyone all the time. And protecting your time and your energy is not selfish. Sometimes it is necessary. I also like to leave little reminders to myself. It could just be a little post-it note dotted around saying things like, done is better than perfect. It's okay to rest, or small habits lead to big changes. They're tiny messages, but sometimes they're just exactly what I need to hear. And the same goes for what we consume online. If certain accounts leave you feeling anxious, inadequate, or exhausted, it is okay to unfollow them. Maybe consider doing a digital declutter, as it were, because not everything deserves space in your mind. And there is only so much that we can absorb. I think it's important to wind down and reflect. Reading has always been one of my favourite ways to slow down. I think libraries are sadly very underused nowadays. They are wonderful places. There are so many free books and audiobooks available through libraries, now apps as well, and websites. And sometimes it's just nice to escape into another little world for a while. Another thing that can help in a similar way actually is writing. It doesn't have to be beautiful or profound. It can simply be somewhere to empty your thoughts without worrying what anyone else thinks. It could be a way of calming down a busy mind, getting stress out of your system, or the other side of it, it can be reminding yourself what wonderful things you have in your life as well. Maybe with something like a gratitude journal. If you're worried about privacy, I know that is a concern for many. You just remember you don't have to keep it. It's the actual act of writing it that matters. You don't have to keep it. You can always tear it up. You can delete it if it's on a computer or your phone. But it's that process of actually writing it down can be so therapeutic. And finally, just try giving yourself a little time away from screens before bed. Perhaps make a cup of herbal tea, read a chapter of a book, stretch for a few minutes, or just simply sit quietly. But these little rituals can really help signal that the day is coming to an end. And I find personally, I sleep a lot better when I do these little things before bed. I know none of these ideas are new, they won't solve every problem, but I don't think looking after ourselves has to be expensive or impressive. Sometimes the smallest acts of care are the ones that quietly remind us that we're worth looking after, because we are. Just as an acorn grows through a lot of small moments rather than one dramatic leap, I think our own lives are often shaped in the same way. Little by little, day by day, gentle things do matter. Anyway, thank you so much for spending a little time with me today. Take care of yourself, and hopefully I will see you next time on An Acorn's View.